The Londonpreneur Show with Michelle Carter.
Welcome to another episode of The Londonpreneur Show, where I interview a new entrepreneur every Monday and Friday. Today we have Dan Knight from Knight Events.
Day to night events, yes.
Day to night events. And what gets you up in the morning?
So what I find gets me up is that there's endless possibilities in a day. So I find that you've got that schedule all the time. And I know even on the way coming here, I was putting stuff in my calendar for tomorrow. And I find you never seem to get that to-do list done. So it's the endless possibilities of whatever that day throws at you and being okay with that. And I know for me, it's taken a long time to be okay with not getting the to-do list done. But I think we have a lot of hours in a day to make a difference and do what we love doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So give me more details about what Day to Night Events does.
So I'm a full service event and wedding planning business. So any event from baby showers to fundraisers to weddings to whatever type of event you're doing, I can help you with that.
And do you have a preference to what kind of event you like to do?
I really do like weddings.
Yeah?
I love being able to let the guests be guests at the wedding. So I find a lot of times they get so stressed out with all the details. They don't need to know that another chair cover needed to come in from a different company. That's what I'm there to worry about, and let them just enjoy the day. And then I can maybe tell them later down the road and be like, just so you know, there wasn't a chair cover kind of thing and that kind of thing.
You make sure you take care of the details.
Absolutely.
So what do you think differentiates yourself from other event planners?
So I think the difference with me is I really try to have that community focus and really try to give back to not-for-profits. So 5% of all of my profits are going to be donated to charity.
Okay.
So whatever the client's charity preference is, I'll donate that 5%. And I do that in part because I love giving back, but also because I worked in the sector for about 8 years.
In the charity sector?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the day after I graduated high school, I was right into charity work, doing events galore with 3 different charities actually over the 8 years. Absolutely loved it and know how difficult it is to raise money. So this is just a small way for me to...
And you got 8 years of experience now.
Absolutely. Any
favorites that you covered?
There was lots of different events. There were some that I helped with like Margaret Trudeau and Al Gore and things like that. I think each one had its own difference, and I loved each one as much or as more as you kept going along. There wasn't really one that stood out too much.
Okay. So when did you start Day to Night Events?
So I started about 6 years ago. I was in between not-for-profits and thought, I've done that. I think I'm done with that. And then actually met somebody at an event I was helping run, and she asked me if I would come and work at the organization that she was at. And so then 5 years later, I stayed with it for 5 years and then recently decided it was time to focus on my business.
Very good. And where would you like to take that business 5 years from now?
So I'd love to be able to help as many people as possible and be able to keep this as a full-time thing. And not kind of have to find a part-time job to supplement the income, for example, and just have a lot of fun doing a whole bunch of variety of different events.
Okay. And is it true that wedding events pay better than other events?
I think it depends. I know for me, I'm starting out, I'm trying not to charge too much for people, but also trying to make a living out of this. I think it all depends. You could have a corporate event that could bring in more money for you as an event planner, rather than a wedding, but it all depends.
Budget-wise, I don't know if you want to talk about money a little bit here. How do I budget how much money I should bring to the table before planning an event with you?
So I think, again, it depends on the event that you want to do. Because I've worked in the not-for-profit sector, love that word free or really cheap, because we were in budgets and had to keep it as low as possible to keep the money for the cause. And so I will fight for that customer to make sure that we get the cheapest price possible for them.
If they need that in their budget.
Absolutely.
But you like bigger budgets as well.
I do like bigger budgets. I just don't want people to be in debt for the rest of their life for a wedding or an event that they're hosting.
Interesting. Is there anything you're struggling with in running your own business?
I think the struggle for me is because I've been promoting other people for so long, other causes.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit difficult to promote myself. So it's building up that confidence and that ability to say, hey, I'm here and this is what I can do.
So to kind of toot your own horn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely have to do that in business.
For sure.
Any mistakes you've made that you can prevent other event planners from making?
I did make a mistake a couple years ago. I think I booked a little too many events. So I also, outside of the business, I also volunteer with a number of organizations and just took on way too many roles. So in a 2-month span, I believe I was doing 5 or 6 major events, between high school reunions with thousands of people, to events with the fundraising organization I was with, to walks and runs, to a gala for a client, and it was just a little too much.
Did you burn out?
I think I learned from the lesson. I don't
Okay.
know if I burnt out per se, but I learned that I'm not going to do that again.
And you still want to keep making events happen.
Absolutely.
That's so
just
good to
not
hear.
all those at once.
Learn to kind of space them out.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Where can we find more information about you?
So it's daytonightevents.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and all other social media platforms as well.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you again for watching this episode. Quick shout out to all of our sponsors: Pink Ink for style and makeup, Sonia Bento for my hairstyle, Susan Dinner for the jewelry, and the wardrobe today by Street Boutique Canadian Fashion Truck. Also, thank you for the venue sponsored by 121 Studios. You can get a membership to be able to use this space for your video or photography. Thank you also to G&A Video Productions and Igla Photography for helping us produce the show. We'll see you next time.